Hey everybody, it's Kenny with Generator Upgrade Supply. Today we're going to be installing the remote start and stop kit for the new style Predator 3500. You'll notice it's the new style if the wheel brake and the battery is on the left side. The gas gauge is a complete circle instead of a rectangle, and the oil door is on the right side. All right, let's do it. Let's go ahead and take the battery compartment out and disconnect the battery. All we need to do is disconnect the negative. And we should be good to go. All right, so let's take this front control panel off. You're gonna have 6 screws on the outside and 1 inside the selector switch. Now these screws are very soft. Go gentle if you're using a drill. You might be making a trip to the hardware store, like I have done many times. Trying to stay out of the way of the shade or the sun here. You'll also notice that I stuck 2 2x4s underneath, just so we can get those wheels off a little bit easier in a minute. If you ever lose the control knob, we do sell them on the website, so check it out. All right. So now that we have the control panel down, let's just take a minute and orient ourselves here. All right, so right here is the start switch. We'll worry about that in a minute. The ground we're going to use, there's also another one back here or right here. And then underneath here, let's see. So we've got the selector switch here. This is where you turn the fuel on and off. Let's see. All right, so these 3 screws here are what we're going to worry about. Also inside here, there are, if you can see back there, there's a screw back here. And then there's 2 little black nubs, one right here, and then one right there. We're just going to go and snip those off. I think they're just where they pull it out of the injection molding. So we're going to go and snip those off so we have a little bit more room when we're putting the module in. It's a pretty tight fit as it is. So let's get back here. Okay. All right, so here we are. I'm going to go ahead and take apart the module. And at this point, let's talk about the antenna. There's a couple different ways you can do it. You can have it external. This will get you the most range if you want to unravel the 9-foot cable here. I like to mount it internal, and there's a hole back here that we're going to put it through. And down here by the air box, we can just Velcro it down to the bottom. I've gotten really good range out of it, about 100 yards starting and stopping, which is great. Great for me. Let's see, so let's go ahead and snip these 2 little black nubs off here from the back. Try and get it here. Any pair of little wire cutters will do. They're fairly soft. Back in here. Just don't cut any wires. All right. make sure. I'm gonna clean that up a little. Some finer ones. Alright. As much room as we can here for the module. Alright. That's good. Get those pieces out of there. Alright, perfect. Now, we've got our module here. Unwind it a bit. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Stick the module in. I'm going to stick it in horizontally like this and have the wires kind of coming out this way. I'm going to go ahead and pop that other side off, the side panel. That way we can get the antenna through there. And over here, it's just 2 screws and then it pops off. Let's see if we can do it left-handed. Alright, lift it up, reach a hole, pops off. So now, let's push this antenna through. You know what I'm also going to do first is take this charcoal canister off real quick. Now there is a number 8 bolt right at the top here. That's the one we're going to undo. Then take the hanger off, and then it's just kind of looped around with this rubber piece right here. Just kind of gotta push it back that way a tiny bit. Flathead will do. There we go. All right, let's get that out of the way. That'll give us access to the choke area as well. All right. So now let's get this antenna through here. There we go. What I should have done first is undid the zip ties here. All right, now we're free. Now the kit does come with a little round Velcro. It's important actually on this antenna. It's a grounded antenna to give it the maximum range. It's important that you don't attach the magnet to the frame, because sometimes it'll actually ground the module, and that will override the regular kill switch, and it will actually stay on, which if you leave it on for a week or so without running the generator, your battery could go dead. So I'm just going to put the antenna right, see down there, yep, okay, antenna right down here, so it's not touching anything. It's velcroed in, very secure. Take another loop out and put the zip tie back on. Okay. I'll go back through and do some wire maintenance at the end here. Okay. All right, I'll clean that up in a minute. Okay, let's go back to front here. There. Okay, like I said, let's hook up the start switch. Now these spade connectors, they might need a pair of needle nose to release the clip and then pull. And there's a good picture in the instructions, a close-up. You're just gonna pinch right here, right above where the female part is. You're just gonna pinch there, and then it releases the clip, and you can pull it out very easily. So squeeze and pull. All right. So what we're gonna do is we have a black and white and a white wire. Okay, the white one was on the back, the black and white was on the front. Doesn't really matter. It's just a switch. I've seen them reversed, and it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is we hook the right ones up to the kit. So let's get our white wires out here, and you pulled a female off of the switch, so we're going to hook the male into the female, and then the female part back on to right back on the switch, and that's it. Same thing with the black and white. It's actually going to get hooked up to the black wire from the kit. Okay, so we've got the male female, boom, plugs right in and right into the switch, and the start switch is done, and that's it. All right, I'm actually going to reverse this and put it in this way. That way I can stick some of these wires back through the back here. So those will go in there. We'll clean those up in a bit. All right, so now we've got our choke connection and our stop connections, as well as the kill switch. So let's put the kill switch in while we're up here. Kill switch is going to be your ground. Okay, a little ring connector. Like I said, let's go ahead and you know what, let's use this one here. All right. So if you can get this out and bent down far enough, we can go ahead and use this ground right here. Make sure we can see it. It's this one right there. Okay. It's actually just got a Phillips head screw with it. So put that through our ring connector on the kill switch and back in. and that'll be a little bit easier than using the one up top here. All right, so for the kill switch, got a couple options. What I like to do is, I don't use this 12 volt, the 8 amp DC breaker. This is the breaker for it. So I don't use this. So this is actually a great spot if you want to put the kill switch. If you don't want to put it there, you can put it where one of the parallel ports are. You can just take these out if you don't use the parallel feature. Or worst case scenario, you can find a place to drill a hole and use a step. Probably right here is a good spot, right below the ESC. Use a step bit, and about a 1/4 inch will be fine. So let's go ahead and put it here where this breaker is. So that's what I want to do. It just pops through. And then this is just gonna sit right there. Just sits right next to it, okay? Let's get our kill switch. All right. Do this here. So just take off the front rubber cover, the one washer, and then stick it through. This part here, if it doesn't have an on and off, this part here is going to be the on, the one with no wires. So it's in the on position now. So you're going to keep that facing up. Through, throw the washer on, and there we go. Now we have a kill switch. Okay, so that's all for the front panel here. What we're gonna do is let's swing these around and stick them back through that same hole that we stuck the antenna through. There's only one hole back there. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and open up the other side here. So this side's a little bit different than the left side. You've got two, make sure you can see. Okay, so for this right side, we have 2 screws on top, okay, with these little rubber grommets here. We have these 3 screws on the front here. We're gonna have to take those off anyway to get to the stop connections, along with the 3 on that side and the 1 in the middle. Just keep that in mind. Also, it has 3 in the back. So 3, 2, 3. And then 3 on the bottom, which are number 8 bolt here. It does have Phillips, but as you can see, that's too soft to even work with, and I stripped it already. So just use the number 8. It's good to go. So get those 3 off. You do have to take the wheels off for this, unfortunately. So just get a tiny screwdriver. These off, make sure you can see. There we go. All right, tiny screwdriver, just pop these off. There's a cotter pin inside, just pull that up. A washer, and then your wheel. All right, so keep all that stuff together. We're gonna go ahead and put the upgraded 7-inch wheels on this anyway, but just for this demonstration, I'm gonna keep these ones on. Do the same to the back side. Hubcap, cotter pin, washer, wheel. All right. Keep those there. So Let's take all these screws out. Start with the back here. 2, 3. So there's actually going to be, and these are a little bit different. These also have the bolt head. However, the ones on the side are not tightened down enough, so you can use the Phillips head without a problem. One's on the top. 2. And these ones on the front. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to go ahead and take these apart while I have it. 1, actually that. And then there is one inside. Don't want to forget this one inside because you'll be frustrated that this thing won't pop off, especially if you're working in low light. It's hard to see in there. That should pop off when I pull it. All right. There you are. There's one hiding here down in the middle. And that should be it. Okay. All right, let's get this right side off. I'm gonna pull this, but pull slowly so we don't accidentally start the generator. There we go. Little hook right there. Maybe it would have been easier to pull it out at the bottom. Okay. Pull slowly. Go. Just let that hang. Okay. Now, we got lucky enough with this new one that it has the CO sensor. Awesome. To get this off, this is where we want to install the choke actuator. So to get this off, you're going to need one of the security Torx bits. This is the S2 T20. I'll make that better later. And we're going to take it off from this side here. So you can get these at Harbor Freight. I think it's $6 for the entire Torx security bit kit. Just make sure that they have the little hole in the top there. You can see that. Yeah, that little hole, because these security screws have the hole, and you won't be able to get it out without it. Remember, this actually fits perfectly inside the number 8 that we used earlier. I think they did that just to make it easy for us. All right, so we're gonna just take that out. And we'll take the second one out as well. If you're lucky, maybe we'll do some wire maintenance on this CO sensor, just for emergency purposes, of course. All right, so here's the spot that we're gonna hook the choke actuator to. this off. Take the rubber band out. And it's going to come with the screw. If you have the CO sensor, you can just reuse that one. Which is what we'll do. All right, so I want to just line it up like that. Make sure we're through there. Let's just get it back in the hole. Worry about positioning in a minute. I dropped that towards bit. There it is. Okay, here we go. Go. And the second one, this bit doesn't want to stay. Perfect. Okay. We've got our actuator in there. We've got our ground and the power. Power we're going to fish through in a second. The ground we're actually going to put right here, and that again leaves the number 8. I was originally having everyone put it right behind here, the ground attached to this hanger, but there's just sometimes too much paint on there. It doesn't get a good ground connection, so we're just gonna go ahead and always put it here. This one doesn't fail us. Wrench is on its last days. All right, let's get the ring back on. There we go. All right. So now our ground is hooked up. Okay, so the power, let's snake that green one through. So once you have this whole front casing off here, it's a lot easier to get behind if you need to, and I'll tell you if you need to why in a second. So we've got green bullet connector here. And the choke is installed. We'll install the choke cable in a second. But what I wanted to show, if you need to, is mainly to get the stop connections. Now, if you look back on yours from the selector switch, the thing with the 3 silver screws, and if you can fish this out with the neon green connections, that's your stop switch. So you might not have to take this whole cabinet off. I just do it anyway. It's a little bit easier to get to everything. Sometimes they're over here, sometimes they're way over here on this side. Just depends. But it's the 2 neon green connectors here. These are bullet connectors. One is red and black, the other is yellow and green, and those correspond to the yellow and green and the red coming from the module. So let's go ahead and whip those around. Oops, grab the antenna. There we go. All right. There we go. Now these are sometimes pretty tight. So if you want to get like a flathead, let's see. Yeah, you can see. Just kind of move this neon green out of the way. Maybe a thin one will be good. So go up through this neon green part right here. You can actually there we go. Push that bullet connector up. There we go. There's one. And this one's actually on this side. It's got a little collar you can stick through. There we go, got it off. Just to get it started. Come on. All right, they are pretty tight. That's why you need a flathead. Just kind of work those bullet connectors down. So, same premise as the start switch. You've got some bullet connectors here. Let's go with the red. So we're going to go male to female that you took off to the red and black with the red. And let's see, back down here is the, you know what, let's be careful. I just did it. So I don't want to go around this. I want to go on the other side. Just showing you what not to do. All right, and then the red, back down here to the female side, we've got the male. We're gonna connect those so you can see. And like I said, sometimes this is over here, so you're gonna be working kind of behind it through this way. If you have to go in this way, you're gonna have to take those 3 silver screws out that take this, the fuel selector off. And then this comes way out, so you'll be able to get way back in here. It's kind of jammed up because I didn't have to take that off. So we're going to do the same with the yellow and green, male to female. Make sure those are covered. And then where are you at? Oh, Oh, you're hiding. There you go. All right. Just under. Other side of the pull rope. Okay. All right, there we go. Now our stop connection is complete. Now, I think one of the last things is we're going to do the choke cable. Try and get in here. Yeah, there we go. Zoom in. All right. So this here is your choke cable that we're going to be working with. Now it's a number 7 bolt here. Yeah, this one does too. Some have Phillips head there. Now what I notice is they do use a little bit of Loctite on there. So let's be careful. And also, before I forget, be extremely careful when we're putting it back on, because I have seen people snap that head right off. Then you got to get a extractor out there and get that out and put a brand new bolt in there. It's kind of a pain. So just be careful as we're tightening it up once we get the choke cable in place, which is, didn't fish it through. Right here. All right, so let's make sure. All right, so one thing I forgot to do is just make sure this actuator is positioned properly. So I'm going to just barely loosen that, and I want to just kind of pull up on it a little bit so we're in a good, nice free spot there. Just want to make sure that it's straight through and not touching any of the wires or hoses in there. Let's tighten down. Yeah, that'll be good. There we go. All right. Okay. Back to the choke cable. Like I said, it should be a number 7. Yep. So one thing, keep the selector switch in either stop or run. Don't pull it all the way to start and then work on this. Keep it in, let's just keep it in stop. And then just take note of how much slack, if any, is in here, because you want to keep this at the same tightness so that you can still switch and use the generator manually as it was stock. So this actually just took a little turn. Maybe they didn't put Loctite on this one. And yeah, see, I can already pull it a little bit. I could see where it was. All right, so I just want to just kind of not touch that cable. Let's go ahead and just take this out to give us as much room as possible. All right, it's not touching in there. and then feed it through that same exact hole, and then pull. Now, since we're going to be pulling that way and our actuator is already mounted, we're going to want to pull this as tight as we can, and then just kind of hand tighten this down until we're getting really good contact there, and then this shouldn't move, and we can go ahead and tighten this again. Like I said, be careful with this one. We want to make sure it's tight, but we don't want to over tighten so much so that we snap that head. Just kind of give it a tug from, both sides, and I think we're good. You can snip this off if you want to, probably do that. All right. Should be good. Antenna's down here. Wires are out of the way. I think we're good to give it a test. Let's see. Let's make sure wires are kind of out of the way. That was that screw I said would pop out. Oh, right on cue. All right. Let's go ahead and hook up the battery again. I love these batteries. This is just kidding. That'd been a lot more funny if my kids were here. Dad jokes. All right, well, let's give it a shot. I'm gonna take all the screws off, the wheels off. I like to test it before I put it all back together for obvious reasons. Take all these tools off. Those are gonna go flying everywhere. Let's not forget to put it back in, put it in run. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. So let's go ahead and flip the kill switch on. All right, so let's give it a shot. Perfect. All right, so to start, it's just a quick, like 1 second-ish push of the A button. And then to stop it, you're gonna hold the B button until it actually stops, and then you can release. Okay, so we got it all tested. Everything worked well. Apparently the powers of B that are making these generators decided to make them a little different in regards to how much room is back here. So this one, actually, I just couldn't get the module to fit back there, which is okay. Found a alternate spot for it. So if yours is having a lot of trouble getting it back in there, it's these thick black wires here, or this bundle. I snipped the zip tie off and still wasn't able to get it. So if yours is having trouble getting it inside here, what we're gonna do is you're gonna disconnect, and you can do this right off the bat when you begin installing this kit. We're going to disconnect this pigtail here, and the module fits perfectly down here, and then we're going to just put the antenna right on top of that. I can show you. Put the antenna right in there. I'm going to Velcro it right in there, and then do some wire maintenance as you finish up. But yeah, my old one, all three styles now have been okay with the module back here. This one I just couldn't do it, so give that a shot first. If not, then in this instance, the only wires that will go through the hole back through the front are the black and white from the module and the kill switch, okay, with the ground. So that's the only thing that you would then stick back up through this hole. Might even be easier installing it. All right, so let's get this button back up, give it another final test, and that'll be it. All right, let's give it one more test. Kill switch on. Always remember to, if you're gonna have it now in storage, or as you're traveling somewhere, always keep that kill switch off. It'll help you remember if you just get in the habit. That way you don't drain the battery accidentally if you leave the generator not running for a week or so. So let's go on and quick press. Two last things. Go, turn it off. And we can't forget sticker, show where you got it. And this sticker has instructions, so you can put it wherever you'd like. Got to go ahead and pop the generator upgrade supply sticker on the side here. There you have it. Ready to go. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me as we installed the remote start and stop kit from Generator Upgrade Supply. I'm Kenny. I'm always here to answer any questions and help you generate better.